everyone, welcome back to Mike the Coaster Guy, and today I'll be starting a brand new series, and it is called Coast to Coast. In this series, we'll be exploring the United States and going through several different land regions and seeing all the best amusement parks there. Also, I'll teach you how to plan a trip around that region and show you all the best things to do in that park and how to plan your trip. So this is Coast to Coast, a coaster enthusiast guide to make sure you get to visit the most amount of parks on a trip. So starting off, you may want to go on a trip to the northeast United States and go to Massachusetts because they got some pretty good parks up there. So the one everyone thinks of automatically is Six Flags New England. And if you're going, I'd recommend a 3-day trip to the northeast and go to Six Flags New England on the least crowded day. So if you're going on a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, go to Six Flags New England on the Wednesday because you're going to want to ride every single thing here in Six Flags New England. So, because this park has an excellent coaster collection. You want to go on Wicked Cyclone or Superman the Ride, that would be your first ride of the day. I recommend Wicked Cyclone because that is one of my favorite roller coasters, if not my favorite roller coaster. I personally love Wicked Cyclone, and Superman is pretty great too. So go to Six Flags New England on the least crowded day. Also, what I do recommend is, I know a lot of people aren't willing to do this, but I do recommend getting to the park at opening, an hour actually before opening, because you will be able to get to Wicked Cyclone or Superman to early in the morning when there is no line. So, if you do want to have a more laid back day and still be able to get on every ride, I do recommend buying the Platinum Flash Pass. Even though it is a little pricey, it is a really good deal. Even though it is $100 a person, if you're just like me and it's just me riding the roller coasters, I'm able to get on every single thing with the Platinum Flash Pass in a single day, and it gives you a wristband so you can ride the ride multiple times without getting off, which is a total bonus. So spend your day at Six Flags New England. Also, what I do recommend is, because this park gets very crowded and the lunch lines do get very horrendous, I do recommend going towards the back of the park to eat lunch during lunchtime because there aren't typically less amounts of people there. I'm talking about where the Dark Knight is and where the Larson Super Loop, I forgot the name, is. And right there, it's not, if you make a right, you'll get right there. But like, that park typically does not have major crowds, so I would recommend going there to eat lunch, or just eat lunch after like 2, or like a late lunch at 3, or an early lunch at like 12 or 11:30. That's what I recommend for your day at Six Flags New England. On the other hand, if you were to go to another park, it would be Quasi, and you would spend half a day at Quasi because there isn't much at Quasi. And make sure to visit Six Flags New England for another half a day because you cannot do everything at Six Flags New England in just one whole day. So Quasi, it's a great park. You gotta go. Unfortunately, I am not being able to get to this park yet, but make sure to ride Wooden Warrior, which is their Gravity Group wooden roller coaster. Make sure to ride that first, and you get there, and maybe try and get a couple good rides on it. And then after you're done with Quasi, go to Six Flags New England. Now, I recommend a whole day at Lake Compounce. Try and go to Lake Compounce actually on their most crowded day because you get a whole day at Lake Compounce. So you can ride Boulder Dash, which many people consider the best wooden roller coaster in the world, over and over again. And you can also get on Phobia Fear, their brand new roller coaster, and that's really it. They have a boomerang, I think, but it's a pretty solid park. But you're really only coming for Boulder Dash, and you make sure you get more than one ride on Boulder Dash because that thing will get a long line. And I have not visited Lake Compounce yet, but I'm looking forward because I may visit it sometime soon. So we are done with the Northeast. So if you were to go to a Northeast trip, I recommend this. These are 3 parks that you have to go to. Now, this is the standard East. So if you go down a little bit more, you got New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and New York. So you gotta go to these parks. Now, I didn't put the Great Escape on this list because Great Escape, I think it's too far from these parks, and it is a nice park, but you would want to go to the Great Escape with Cedar Point, which is coming for a whole other video because it's in upstate New York, so it is that close. And also, it's really small, so there's not much to do there. So, but the first day you would do is go to Six Flags Great Adventure. And you gotta ride El Toro first, because that is, in my opinion, the best wooden roller coaster in the world. Now, Six Flags Great Adventure is my home park. I go to Great Adventure quite often. Usually go about once a month. So, and it's definitely a 2 day park. So you need to ride El Toro first. That's the world class wooden roller coaster. If you don't get on King Ka, don't worry, you're not really missing out if you get on Dragster. But try and get on King Ka and Nitro too. And then there are the other rides, Bizarro, Superman, Green Lantern, all the other ones. And I've been going to this park quite a lot, so I know quite a lot about how to make your day, how to make the best day you can get out of this park. So what I do recommend is I recommend not eating at the Johnny Rockets on Main Street because I've seen the place and it gets extremely long lines. What I do recommend is eating at the grandmother's fried chicken place on the right near Batman because it does get long lines but it does have good food and it's not as long as the Johnny Rockets when you enter the park. Also, I do recommend eating in the boardwalk, which is right near Superman, because they do have some good food on the boardwalk. But and all you same thing with Six Flags New England or any of the major parks. You want to eat lunch 11 o'clock, 2:30, and so on. One of those times later after the big rush comes because you will spend easily half an hour to an hour waiting online for food, and that's plain out ridiculous when you could wait 15 minutes at like 2:30 or 11:30 to eat lunch. So here's the problem with Great Adventure: it is very hard to find a hotel. So I do recommend 2 days at Great Adventure if you find a hotel. So because there is just a lot of Great Adventure, a lot more than New England. It's a big park. It's the biggest park in the world, in fact. So you want a lot of days at Great Adventure, even if you could do 3, but I recommend 2. So then you have Luna Park, which is the Coney Island Boardwalk Park. And it's a great park. I haven't been there yet. I am looking forward because I may go this summer. But make sure to ride the Cyclone because that's a great wooden roller coaster. And also there's the boardwalk parks, Casino Pier and Maury's Pier specifically. Maury's Pier you may want to spend a whole day at. I thought that you only have to spend half a day at Maury's Piers because they like only have a couple of roller coasters. But Maury's Piers is a big park. They have 3 piers with all different rides on each pier. And then Casino Piers, they're getting Hydrus, which is a big roller coaster, and that's why I want to recommend you going there. Those are the boardwalk parks. But then you have Dorney Park. Now, Dorney Park, I'm a little skeptical about. I've been there before, and I did not have the greatest time at Dorney Park. I actually don't like Dorney Park that much, but there was only like most of the roller coasters there. I did not enjoy. Like Talon, I thought was like an okay B&M invert, like nothing great and I thought it's extremely overrated for sure. Um, Stinger was fun, like it's okay. Steel Force is awful. I like a lot of enthusiasts say it's the best ride in the park. I think it's extremely overrated. It's extremely rough and just like It's just it's awful and doesn't compare to Magnum at all. But but what I recommend is the best 2 rides in the park: Hydra the Revenger and Possessed. Now I know because Possessed is a little rough, some people won't like it, and that's okay. But I personally do not mind the roughness um of Possessed. But and Hydra, in my opinion, is the best B&M invert I've ever written. Hydra is so great, and I've been on a lot of B&M inverts. I've been on Bizarro, I've been on the Dark Knight, I've been on Kraken. I honestly think that Hydra is the best B&M invert that I've written. So make sure to get on Hydra a couple of times because that's a fun ride. Also, the roll at the beginning. What's the name? The Jelly Roll, the whatever it's called. I think it's Jelly Roll. At the beginning, it's a spectacular element. It's just amazing. And then there's Hershey Park. Hershey Park, I recommend 2 days at because they do have an excellent coaster collection like Six Flags Great Adventure. Now, personally, I like Hershey more because Hershey is just a better park in general. Because it's just nicer. It's hard, but here, let me explain Hershey Park to you guys. Hershey Park, it's very hard to maneuver around Hershey Park, so that is one of the reasons why I recommend 2 days, because you will spend a lot of time wandering aimlessly around the park, having no idea where you're going. Especially in the frontier town area of the park. You know what I mean when you're going to Trailblazer. Trust me, you'll know what I mean. Where you would think that you'd be able to get to Fahrenheit from Trailblazer, you can't. So you'll see if you go to the park what I mean right now. Um, but Hershey Park has a great coaster collection. I like their collection a lot better than Great Adventures collection, because Sky Rush is phenomenal ride. I did like Nitro more than Sky Rush, but I haven't gotten on Sky Rush in a long time. I'm planning to get back on Sky Rush in July, but I think Nitro's better from what I've experienced because I haven't ridden Sky Rush in a long time. But Hershey Park's a 2 day. And also, what I recommend is taking a little bit of your time out of the park and going to Hershey's Chocolate World, which is right next door. And it's just a little indoor amusement park with a giant Hershey chocolate shop. They have a ride how they make the Hershey chocolate, and it's just a really great dark ride. So you should do that, and it's free. The dark ride's all free. You don't even have to go to the park and just ride the dark ride for not a single dime. So that's nice. But anyway, they also had the at Hershey Park. They also have some good dark rides. They have the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Challenge, which is like it's a fine dark ride. So you want to take some time and ride those dark rides at Hershey Park. And also they have and also like they if you were to eat lunch at Hershey Park, I do recommend eating lunch in the Frontier Town area of the park because they have good food. But what I did when I was at Hershey Park was I didn't really eat at the park. I ate at the Hershey Hotel. They have some really good restaurants in the Hershey Hotel. Um, some really great ones. So I make sure you do eat at the Hershey Hotel or the Hershey Lodge. I like Hershey Hotel better, but just eat at one of those restaurants. And also there is the boardwalk in Hershey Park, which is a water park that is inside of the park, which makes the park that much better. So after moving on from Hershey Park, go to Knoebels Amusement Park. Now, this is a really great amusement park, you guys. I'm planning to get to it in July with Hershey Park again. But Knoebels is a great park. They have the Phoenix, which is one of the best wooden roller coasters in the world, and they have Impulse, which is a fun little launch roller coaster. Um, so Knoebels is fine. It is a single. There is a not a single admission. It's not a single admission amusement park. You have to pay per ride, which does make it cheaper if you want to ride like 3 rides. Like if you want to just go in and ride Phoenix and Impulse, and Twister or the Flying Turns, you could do that. So I mean, it is definitely a benefit money wise. So you do want to go to Knoebels. It is definitely worth it, even though it is a little bit more of a drive. So we are moving on from the Central East to the Southeast. Now, this is the Virginian, Carolina, Tennessee area, down there. Um, it's not the entire initial Southeast because we have another thing for the Southeast. But we have King's Dominion. Now, if were to go in 2018, great, because like you could ride RMC Hurler, which is definitely a plus. So I do recommend doing King's Dominion in 2018, and they also have I-305, so that's always a plus. So with the thing with King's Dominion is I'm going there next year for RMC Hurler for the first time, and I in like King's Dominion, it's a really beautiful park. So you want to take some time to admire the scenery and the singing mushrooms and all that stuff. You want to admire the scenery of King's Dominion. That's fine. Also, like they do get long lines at King's Dominion, especially Volcano the Blast Coaster, or like I-305 doesn't get long lines. Also, Avalanche for some reason does get long lines. So you may wanna get the Fast Lane Plus for King's Dominion because it does get long lines. Now, same thing for lunch with the other major parks that we have on this list. Make sure you eat before the 1 o'clock rush. So that's all I have to say about King's Dominion. Now moving on to Busch Gardens Europe. You could ride the major roller coasters that I think they have there are Invader, Apollo, Revolting, and Griffin. Those are the ones that you definitely want to get on. Now, I haven't been to Busch Gardens Europe. I'm planning to go next year with King's Dominion and the other 2 parks here. But the Alpengeist doesn't seem like a great roller coaster. I've heard it is really bumpy, so those are the 4 you want to get on. Now, Busch Gardens Europe, you want to make sure to eat some food there because they do have some really great food because it is a Busch Gardens park. So you do want to get some of the good food that they have at Busch Gardens Europe. Also, Busch Gardens Europe has a flat ride, the Mach Tower, which does look really fun. So make sure you get on the Mach Tower, which is a great ride. And also, you want to admire the scenery for Busch Gardens Europe, same as King's Dominion. This is a beautiful park. Even it's more beautiful than King's Dominion. It is the most beautiful park in the world. So moving on from Busch Gardens to Carowinds. Carowinds has the best top three in the amusement industry. I guess that's pretty clear right now. It may compete with Cedar Point, but it's pretty clear. I guess it's gonna go to Carowinds. Maybe next year it'll compete with Cedar Point, but right now it's Carowinds. They got Fury 325, which is many consider the best steel roller coaster in the world. Intimidator, which is a great B&M hypercoaster, and Afterburn, which is a great B&M invert. So make sure you go to Carowinds. It's a fine park. You want to eat at Carowinds has some good food. I've heard that they have some great food at Carowinds, and it is. I heard it has some really great food, and also want to make sure you get into the country fair area of the park. Now, for this park, you want to get to there early so you can get more than one ride on Fury early in the morning. And Afterburn, Intimidator, either one, you want to get to Fury usually first and ride it multiple times. So moving on from day 3 to day 4. Now, depending on what you want, you could give Dollywood 2 days. If lightning, and for the reason is, it's definitely not a 2-day park. It's more of a 1-day park. But the reason being because the lightning rod, it may be open the next day, so you may want to spend 2 days at Dollywood, and I could totally see why. So Dollywood, it has a great collection of roller coasters. It has Lightning Rod and Wild Eagle, Tennessee Tornado, Fire Chaser Express, Thunderhead, all great roller coasters. So you make sure you want to get on all of those. But obviously, the star is Lightning Rod, and everyone wants to get on Lightning Rod, even though it is really hard to get on, and not many people have gotten on Lightning Rod. So I haven't gotten on Lightning Rod yet, but I haven't gotten Dollywood yet, which I will be doing next year, along with all these other parks. But anyway, Dollywood is fine, and it has a great collection of roller coasters. Now the food. Let's talk about the food here. Dollywood has some really great food. I forgot the name, but they have these giant pizzas at the Lumberjack Pizza, which is really giant pizzas for the whole family. And also, you guys knew this was coming. The cinnamon bread at Dollywood is heavenly. You have to get the cinnamon bread at Dollywood. Many people consider it some of the best amusement park food in the world. So this is the Southeast. Only 4 parks, but because we're saving the Southeast for another park, which is right here. I saved Florida for its own little area because they have a ton of parks in Florida. Basically just Orlando. But so on day 1 through 4, I love Disney. I love them. They're my favorite amusement parks. They're just great. I love Disney. A lot of enthusiasts don't like Disney, but I think Disney's great. So when you go to Disney, stay there for 4 days. Do yourself a favor and go to Disney for 4 days. Go all 4 parks because they got Pandora, which is brand new, and that looks spectacular. And if you were to go, stay at one of the hotels that you personally think looks fitting. What I recommend is the Animal Kingdom Lodge, which is a spectacular, let me just say, amazing hotel. Because if you get the Savannah view, you look outside your window and you see animals outside at 6 o'clock in the morning. I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning one of the days at Disney, and I went on the porch with a safari guide, and I saw a giraffe at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's just awesome. A giraffe feet away from your window. It is just amazing. So definitely you should go to Animal Kingdom Lodge and get a Savannah view room. So that is for the first 4 days. Now 5 and 6, you could do 5 and 6 if you want. There's Universal Resort. I'm not very fond of Universal. I've been there once. It's fun, but nowhere near Disney level. And then you could do 1 day at Disney, No, I'm sorry, one day at Universal and one day at the Fun Spot parks, which are two parks, Fun Spot Kissimmee, Fun Spot Orlando, which have both. Each one has an excellent wooden roller coaster. Um, the one in Orlando has White Lightning, which is a great roller coaster, and the one in Kissimmee is getting Mind Blower for 2017. So make sure you get to Fun Spot Kissimmee because that's a brand new roller coaster. And Universal Resort, they have some fun stuff there. You got like the roller coasters, the Rip Ride Rocket. It's like a fine. It's okay. Got the Hulk. You got some rides there, but like Universal, they do well in food. I think the food at Universal is better than the rides. Like eat at like Krusty Burger because that has some good food. Eat at the Monster Cafe. They have some good food there, and yeah, so Universal got some good food. But what I did forget to talk about is the Disney food. Disney's got some really great restaurants. I'll name the ones that I ate at. So at Animal Kingdom, they have a buffet in the Animal Kingdom Lodge that I thought was spectacular. It is a little pricey; it's $200, but for a family of four. But I think um, the Animal Kingdom Lodge buffet is amazing. They have some really great food there. If you want to go a little bit more pricey, you could do the ridiculously expensive, not very like fancy fine dining experience. But I was more into the buffet. So we waited at the buffet and it was really great. So at Magic Kingdom, we ate at the Skipper Canteen. This is our most recent visit. Let me just say. We ate at the Skipper Canteen in Magic Kingdom, and I actually did not like it that much. It was okay, but the food was not that great. Like it was like I ate these mashed potatoes there, and like it was I really hate to say this, but it was like vomit inducing, really bad because they put this terrible sauce on it, just ruined it. So I honestly do not recommend Skipper Canteen. But if you're gonna eat anywhere in Magic Kingdom, I do recommend eating at Be Our Guest Restaurant, which is an amazing restaurant. It is beautiful. The food there is spectacular. It is just nothing short of perfection. It is one of the best restaurants in the world, in my opinion. So you gotta eat at Be Our Guest Restaurant. That is definitely the way to go when you're in Magic Kingdom. In Epcot, you could go either way. I've eaten at a couple of Epcot restaurants, but the one that I recommend the most is Via Napoli in Italy. It is a Italian restaurant in Italy, and it is giant. It can fit a lot of people. It is a little pricey though, but the food is amazing. Also, they have Oktoberfest in Germany, which is a great restaurant, and I love it. It's a buffet too. So, in Hollywood Studios, I may have a little hard time choosing where to eat at Hollywood Studios, but because they have some good restaurants there. But if I had to pick one, I would pick the Sci-Fi Dine-In because it's really great restaurant because you have the screen going. You have a giant. It's like a drive-in movie theater pretty much. So you could do that. And in Animal Kingdom's not that great with restaurants. They have Yak and Yeti if you're into that, but that's it. So, sorry, I got sidetracked there. But now we have SeaWorld Orlando. SeaWorld Orlando has, it's a great park. Got their top three best, like, really great 3 B&Ms. But, if you were to eat at, SeaWorld, I didn't eat much at SeaWorld. We just had lunch there. But you should go to SeaWorld. I definitely recommend it. Get get the quick queue. It's not that expensive. It's only like $20, I think, and you'll be able to get on everything. So get the quick queue. It's definitely worth it. Quick queue unlimited. It's definitely worth it. And then you have Busch Gardens Tampa, which you should also get the quick queue for. Same company. Get the quick queue for Busch Gardens Tampa, and that has a great park, amazing park actually. I'm getting there this November, so that's nice. Um, Now let's just say about Busch Gardens Tampa, they're just pretty perfect. So okay, so that ends part one of Coast to Coast. I hope you guys enjoyed this part one of the series. We'll be doing it a lot. I know this video has been a little long, but I hope you guys like it. And all clear, and you guys are out of here. Bye.